I am the owner of Smith 777 Travels. A lot of people, they use that's why using the 3 7s. I was brought up 7 means complete. So instead of saying Smith Complete Travels, I just put the 777 in there to get people to come up to me and ask me, what is it that I do? So that's the reason behind the 777, okay? I am located in Millsboro, Delaware. I am considered a home-based travel agent. So I do it in my home. I can do it here at the college if they have it. I've done it in McDonald's, where I meet with customers, whatever they need or want from my company, I go wherever they are. And what I do is I provide travel package for families, groups, individuals, you know, whatever. I mean, you can go out to the travel agent, but we usually provide good pricing because we don't have the overhead. So that's why we're home base. So I'd like to tell you how I got my start. I was just doing travel just in general, basically for my family and for the churches. They do conventions every year, and they would come to me, can you do it? And I loved it because I love helping people. One day, one gentleman coming to me, wouldn't you like to make money doing that? I'm like, never thought about it. I just looked at it as a service, you know, helping somebody to, you know, get what they need. And he gave me a package. Believe it or not, 2 years later, I never looked at the package. I just happened to do spring cleaning 1 year, 2 years later, and I came across it, and I'm like, oh, I forgot all about that. And I began to look into it, and I signed up for it. It was, you had to sign up for a hosting agency that they took most of your commission because they're helping you out. So I did that for a year just to learn the business, learn about the travel. And what that involved is they had a lot of training sessions, conferences that you can go to learn about different products and what the travel industry does. So I did that for about a year, and then I'm like, I think I can do this on my own. You know, so 2007, I decided to get my business license and got everything together, and voila, created Smith 777 Travels, okay? They asked about the question, what is unique about this? You know, again, you have a lot of the travel agency around. I like to consider myself unique because, again, I go where you are. If you can't come to me, I'll go to you. And also, I have a lot of people that when they do their travel, a lot of them, you know, they have to go to the airport or they have to do their own check-in. Well, if you do your airline, and you know you got to check in, especially with Southwest, because you know if you don't, you'll be the last one to get on the plane. I myself would tell you, I would check you in. I would mark on my calendar when the day before you're leaving, marking, hey, check this person in. That way all you got to do is go to the airport and just get your boarding pass. So I consider myself unique in that way. Also, I went out and got my CDL license because, again, I'm home base. So a lot of time I have to contract out buses, vans, you know, to get, you know, to take the people where they need to go. Because again, I'm 7-7 travel, so your complete travel, I want you from the beginning to the end. So I want to take you there if you need me to take you there, pick you up when you get done. So I'm like, I can drive a van, I can drive a bus. So I went and got my CDL license, and I do drive a school bus for the school district part-time. So I went and did that, and so now I take people, you know, where they need to go, whether it's to the airport, whether it's to the cruise terminal, wherever they need to go, I can do it myself. Again, get my commission, more money for me, okay, instead of putting it out. Another thing that I think I'm unique with, I did have the group homes and those that are developmentally challenged group to come to me and say, can you do this for people who are, you know, a little challenged? Sure, how hard could that be? But I found out, you know, there's certain things you need to do and need to have to transport them because a lot of them, they're in wheelchairs or whatever, so I started doing that. And now, every year, I'm always doing something for those group homes, taking them to their trips. I actually got 2 going now. They want to go to Memphis to Graceland, and, or wherever they want to go. And another thing that I call unique, sometimes I do travel with them. Depending on the group size, depending on where they're going, I will go to make sure that everything is fine. If they have a problem, instead of trying to call someone at the front desk, they call me, I take care of it. And so that's another unique thing that I do. And with my travel, again, like I said, I can do cruises, airlines, rental cars, whatever the regular travel agency do that you see out here, we can do it also home base. One of my, I would have to say since 2000, great travel that I like to do, we always go to California every year to the Price is Right show. I don't know if you've seen, you should probably see in a lot of our groups that when we do go, because again, I provide the t-shirts, I do everything, we go out there, we do the show, and that's not the only thing that we do. While we're out there, we do other things. And I usually, when I do take trips like that, I do find somebody that was from the area that I would bring them on board, and they can take us around, you know, to see the different areas. So those are the areas that I think I'm unique in, because I do the extra things or things that the other travel agent does not do, and able to have the capability to do that. So I just wanted to let you know who I was. So a lot of times I advertise myself in the Census Guide. So to put a face with a name now when you see it, and it's in there today. I have some things in there today. Smith 77 Travel belongs to me, Lorraine Smith. And that's all I present.
Thank you, Lorraine. It's very interesting.
Yes.
How about some questions and comments that we have for Lorraine? Who would like to go first?
Wonderful, congratulations. I have seen your advertisement in the guide, Smith 777 Travels. A couple of just small questions. I heard you say you started in 2007. So we're talking 8 years of development?
8 years as my own business, but I've been doing it years before, just doing it out of the kindness of, because it's something I love to do and I love to travel. So again, when someone approached me, wouldn't you like to make money? And I'm like,
Right.
I just never thought about it. It was
Right.
just like a service to me.
Okay, so I heard a lot of compartments, if you will, a lot of
Yes.
components there.
Yes.
Are you a one-woman?
Right now, I'm a one-woman shop, but I do have an assistant that she's training up under me. So when I can't go, like when I want to go to someone or someone with their trip, or like I had a surgery and I had a trip going to Sight and Sound. I usually like to go. I couldn't go. So I would bring her on to go in my place, do what we need to do. But right now, I'm a one-woman shop. I do have an assistant. I'm trying to expand out into Florida because my daughter lives out there. She's a stay-at-home mom. I'm like, what better? You're not doing anything. Help your mom with the business. So I'm trying to expand in Florida and branch off that way.
I hear a lot of activity in those compartments. There has to be structure. So I'm
Yes.
thinking economically, okay,
Yes.
and sustainability. So in each of those, the trip to California, the trip to Memphis, the group that have challenging, disabilities, each of those categories to me has its own structure and development.
Right.
How do you keep them separate? And when you're looking at that trip to the Price is Right, your job as the founder, the owner, the whole compartment head, if you will, the leadership. I'm just trying to gather in my brain cell how, just one of those trips, the Price is Right, to me is a lot of work. Help us to understand how your brain thoughts are pulling that trip together different from the trip to Memphis. You've got to get the people together,
Right.
and I'm looking for sustainability, retention, and profitability, and how your fee schedules work so that the trip is, I
Right.
travel back and forth to Nebraska, and I travel Southwest. I have somebody who does do my printing out, my board pass, and sometimes I do my own. But it is a bit of work to do. Help us to
Yes.
understand your energies.
Well, I guess I'm used to it now because I've been doing it for so long, but I usually advertise, and based upon the response that I get, how many people, then let's just use the Price is Right, for example. I know I need to take at least 15 to go as a group. When you go as a group, you're guaranteed to get in. Okay, so I always try to go there with a group so that we're guaranteed to get in. And so I base it upon 15 people, so I find the hotel. And again, like I said, I've been doing it for years, that I know which hotel we need to stay at. And the air flight, again, I would search for the flight, see what's the best deal to carry the group on, put that whole package together. And plus, my commission is 5%, anywhere between 5 to 10 for myself. But again, depending on what it is, it could be less or it could be none. I've done a trip, didn't make anything, but just especially with this Vantage challenged people. Sometimes I do it without a commission because I want to see them do their vacation because they don't get to go anywhere. So my heart is out to them. So I don't mind not getting commission to send them somewhere. So
I want to go to the Price is Right. How much is that going to cost me?
well, see, then it depends. Actually, we just went, me and my daughter, we did the mother and daughter show in April, and it cost us roughly $600, okay? So depending on how long we stay, I usually ask them, do you want to go and spend time, or you just want to go for the show? You just want to go for the show, go there, come back? Doesn't really cost much. Mostly the cost is the airlines, because the hotel doesn't really change much. They want you there, but it's the airlines that's really involves the cost in each trip that I do, if you're flying out. I do trains, like next week, I have a train going to New York. Again, I'm going because I want to make sure the group is fine. We're going to see a Broadway show. We're staying overnight. So depending on the trip, they're all different, and I don't do them all the same way every year. And most of the time when I do sponsor the trip, unless they're a repeated customer, I don't know the person until I see them that morning we meet. Or if we talked over the phone and I met them in McDonald's to go over everything, that's when I meet them. But most of the time, I talk to them over the phone. I don't meet them until the day we leave. And I truly have to say that with the groups that comes together, get along very well. I have not had a problem. Again, black, white, whatever it is, we all come together for one purpose. And even when we go out there as a group, we don't have to stay together. And I tell them that. We're here for the Price is Right. Your requirements to me, you be there for the Price is Right. Anything else, you can do whatever you want to do, as long as you're back in time to catch the flight. And so it's all different depending on what it is.
So as a business, are you working with any of our economic development, small business resources?
Actually, I do go on the small business website for different things, but right now I'm not working with anybody. Again, this is not my, I do want to mention, this is not my only job. I do work for the state of Delaware, so this is kind of like a part-time thing for me, but I do work for the state of Delaware full-time. So this, I do, yes.
I won't be greedy.
Well, thank you very much for your presentation this morning, and I want to go to Spain.
You want to go to Spain? I just come back from Trinidad just on Tuesday. It was just a trip for, my sister was invited. She didn't want to go by herself, so I was like, if you can get to Miami, I'll take you. Hey, I can get to Miami. And it was beautiful. So I can put together, if you got to tell me when you want to go, how long you want to go, how many people is going, what you want to do there, I can put a package together and you can say yes or no.
So you do international
Yes.
travel arrangements?
Yes.
And you do deliver then the group to wherever we are taking off
Wherever
from?
you're taking, Baltimore, New York, whatever, if you want me to. Now, some people, because they may live in Salisbury or may live in Denton, they could drive there themselves, no problem. But when you got us here in Georgetown, in Millsboro, a lot of people don't like to drive in the parking. I have no problem with that.
Well, with respect to going to New York by train, coming from Sussex County, you have to get to Wilmington.
Exactly, so I provide transportation. Now, my starting point is always Georgetown Walmart. That's always my starting
Okay.
point.
All right.
Now, if you're in between the destination, I can stop and pick you up on the way. But the destination starts at Georgetown Walmart.
Well, to maintain your business and for as long as you've been in it, I still don't understand really how you go about structuring your prices for your services, which obviously you cover a wide gamut of services embedded in the package that you're selling. And I don't understand how you structure the pricing on the package.
Well, again, I do use a host agency, and we log in and we put what it is that we need, and it's all included. Once they tally up everything, they present it to me. So, yes.
And you add 5?
Yes.
I'm sorry, I was speaking out of turn. You add 5 or 10 above that,
Depending
depending
on
on
what
your
it is.
feelings about the...
Right. So it just depends, because again, if it's like somebody that I know that really can't afford to go, I'm not going to do that, because I want them to go. I mean, I guess it's not I guess because it's not my bread and butter,
Yes.
that it doesn't matter it does matter if I make a profit or not, but not a big profit. I'm not trying to make a lot of money. But I'm just trying to, those who wants to be able to travel and go places, to make it affordable for them to go. Now, when I retire, it might be a different story, okay? But as of right now, it's not like I have to make that 10% commission. I have to make this much.
Thank you.
No.
In recent years, have you made changes to your business to grow it, expand it, or what new things occurred in the recent years?
Right now, again, like I said, I added on an assistant with me to help. I'm trying to show her how to work the program, to log in, and to help me when I can't do it or to assist other people. So again, I do want to grow as far as I want to expand out to Florida, because Florida has a lot of opportunity. So I want to try to expand out to Florida, get a couple more people who wants to do the business and show them how to do it. So right now I have one that I've started in training. I have had a couple people ask me about it, and I told them, no problem, I can meet you at McDonald's or whatever, sit down with you, I have my laptop, and we can go over what it is that, how to get started. And usually I tell them, start like I did with a host agency, because then they are the resource. If something I don't know a place about, I can go on that website. And granted, it costs me yearly to be a part of that, but to me it's worth it, because it has all the resources. If something I don't know about a location or whatever, I just talk to one of them, and they can tell me what's best, what to do, not to do. So I usually tell them, start off at least with a host agency, someone that's already been in the business for years and know all about it, and then branch out on your own.
Okay, other questions? Comments?
Oh, by the way, I was 2000 contestant on The Price is Right, and I did win and get on. So that's what got me started with that. Have a DVD to prove it. I carry it around when people want to see it. I'm like, here, take a look. So, yes.
I was just, in hearing from your business and everything, is your business predominantly at this point group travel versus, individual trips?
It just ranges, because just like now, Saturday, I'm taking a group to Maryland to see a play. I just advertise it out. I'm taking the van, I'm driving. We're just going to a place. So it depends. A lot of my business started out with word of mouth. I would have to say most of my business I've gotten from word of mouth. People called, just like you said, you saw my business card. Okay, but it's mostly word of mouth, and I just do whatever. Now, every year, again, I have certain trips that I do every year. The Price is Right, the Train Ride in Niagara Falls. So certain ones I do every year, but other stuff, people will call me, like they called me about the Memphis Graceland. Then I have one that called, they wanted to go Vegas in November, so I set them up for Vegas. So it depends on when they call me. They ask me when they see my advertisement, they say, well, do you do other trips? I'm like, okay, yeah, where do you want to go? And then they tell me how many people. Again, I do have a website, and you can just send an email. You don't necessarily have to call me. Just put in an email where you want to go, how many people, what you want to do, and I will get right back with you with the quotes.
And then you also mentioned about expanding out, to Florida and things like that. Have you ever thought of in the future, taking on a specialty and expanding that training a little bit for? I know like Carnival Cruises
Right.
has, that specialty. I know that Disney parks offer a specialty to be able to get those benefits in deals ahead of time versus when
Right.
they're open to the public.
Yeah, well, I am specialty with sandals, so I do sandals, and also Carnival Royal Caribbean. So those, again, we have to go to training, get the certificate. So there's some, but I don't just specialize just on that one, but I do have, the training for those.
I see a specialty area when you mentioned about helping with disabilities, because I would
Yeah.
think that would be a real good
They
niche for
came
you.
to me. They called and asked. I'm like, sure. What just tell me what is it that they have, what do they need? And I have actually went on a couple cruises with them just to make sure everything went well, because that was my first time, and I love it. The expression on their face, they're just tickled. And then when I see them, even in the store, they remember me. I'm like, okay, I remember you from this, So they came, and I do what I can.
Well, with you having experience in that
Yeah.
field, I think with individuals that have disabilities, that way you have insights of what their needs might be.
Right, exactly.
It could be an avenue for you.
Yeah.
Other questions? I I have another inquiry. I was kind of waiting it till the end. Sure nobody else has questions here? Comments? You mentioned The Price is Right, which is kind of exciting. Have you
It
gotten
is.
publicity from the local papers on any of your trips where you went and got some
Well,
exposure that way?
Actually, WBOC aired 2 of my show, and actually one of them was my niece from Laurel, Delaware. And we've been going, like I said, 2000, and from 2000 to now, I've had someone get on the show the last 13 times. The last 13.
Then
So I'm proud of that. Not saying something that I'm doing, but I try to make sure when I go, I have T-shirts, let them know we come from the East Coast, we come far. You know, I put something on there to get noticed, but they did my niece. We had a gentleman from our church got on. They aired him on there, you know. So,
Well, you're helping to provide that opportunity. I encourage you, anytime you do this, especially leading up to it, or you know there's another date,
Yes.
put out a press release, free publicity, and the local papers are usually very good if
Yeah.
they've got the space to indicate that, and that's kind of exciting.
yeah, it
you know?
is.
It's not something that we
WBOC did
think
that
about
twice
local
for me, yes.
hometown.
But I go every year. It's just an annual thing, because it's great. Like I said, I had the opportunity to experience getting on the show, but Bob Barker was there then. So it's quite different with Drew. Drew Carey, you will have a ball. I love him. At first, I'm like, Drew Carey? I'm like, But I'm telling you, he's really good. He's a
That's
good guy.
great. One other thing I want to mention before I ask our last question. Brenda Whitehurst, will you raise your hand, please? Thank you. I wanted you to know it is Brenda that gave us your business card.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. I'll give you part of my commission. I will help you to go.
Very good. Thank you, Brenda. What can we, as a community, do for you, Lorraine, to help promote your business, or is there anything that you would like to see come back from the community?
Just, give me a try. And again, like I said, I can compare also. Sometimes I can't beat what you can find. A lot of times people just don't have the time to go on the internet to search and see, find. And then even when you find something, especially with the hotel, you're not for sure if it's a good hotel, bad hotel, So give me a try, or, word of mouth would be great. I don't charge for, which I should, people say I should, but I don't charge for it. Like if you say, I want to go here, can you tell me how much? I'll do it and won't charge you. Some people, most of them, they do. But I don't charge because I'm looking at a potential future customer.